guys? It's True Southpaw here, and we're going to be talking about UFC 259. My predictions as of now, my my predictions as of now. And there's a couple fights that I want to go over. Obviously, the 3 title fights I want to go over, but there's some other fights like Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rakic, Islam Makhachev versus Yoder, Joseph Benavidez versus Askar Askarov, and Dominick Cruz versus Kenney. Those are all the fights. I basically want to go over 7 fights. But yeah, so honestly, let's get right to it. The first fight we're gonna go over is Islam Makhachev versus Yoder, and this is an interesting fight. I like this fight, and I actually like Islam Makhachev. I think he's a very good fighter. He's 18-1-0, and then Yoder is 23-9-0. So like you look at this, you look at their records. Islam looks like he's gonna win, and I personally think Islam will win against Yoder. But let's take nothing away from Yoder. He's done some good things. Excuse me, but Islam Makhachev he's very good. He was supposed to fight Rafael dos Anjos. That never happened. Ended up becoming Paul Felder versus Rafael dos Anjos, which was a really good fight. But Islam Makhachev would have put up a really tough fight against Rafael dos Anjos. I think Islam Makhachev gets the job done against Yoder. And Islam Makhachev is number 13 ranked lightweight in the world, and Yoder is number 14 ranked lightweight. So I do believe Islam Makhachev gets it done. I believe he gets it done by a knockout in the second round. Knockout, TKO. And then what's next for him? I personally think what's next for Islam Makhachev is you give him a top 10 guy. You give him I'm thinking you give him Ali Quinta. I personally not a huge profile matchup, but someone like that. I think someone like that would be really good. Or even just rebook that Rafael dos Anjos fight, because Rafael won. Islam, if he wins this fight, it would make sense, wouldn't it? So I'm thinking Rafael dos Anjos could be a really good fight for them. For Islam if he wins. But Yoder, if he wins, I think you give him a fight like Ali Quinta as well. Islam, I do think Islam's going to win, though. Islam Makhachev is just the stronger fighter everywhere. He's a really strong wrestler. He's a decent striker. I think he's a stronger fighter everywhere. So I think Islam Makhachev's going to win this fight. Next fight we're going to go over is Dominick Cruz versus Kenney. This is an interesting fight. Dominick Cruz, do you think about it? He's one of the best bantamweights of all time, if not the best, next to Henry Cejudo. Next to, you can say TJ. No, I'm not going to throw TJ Dillashaw into one of the best in that division. Even though he's just a steroid user, so I don't like to throw him in there. But Dominick Cruz is ranked number 14 in the world in bantamweight. He's still competing, which is a surprise to me. He honestly should not. He loves fighting, fair to him, but at the same time, come on, you gotta know when it's kind of, he only has 3 losses, sure, and Cody Garbrandt, Uriah Faber, and Henry Cejudo. Those are really tough. All 3 of them are very good fighters. And then Kenney, he's only got 2 losses, and he's got 1 draw, 16 wins. I'm not going to bet against... I don't want to bet against Kenney, because Kenney looks strong. He's number 15 bantamweight in the world. Kenney, he could upset. Don't get me wrong. He could upset Dominick Cruz. But can he deal with Dominick Cruz figure 8 movement? I don't think he can. Dominick Cruz is a tough guy to go against. That's why only fighters like Cody Garbrandt, Henry Cejudo, Uriah Faber, a long time ago. That's why only fighters like them can defeat Dominick Cruz, because they're elite fighters. Is Kenney an elite fighter? Not yet. And I think this is going to be a pretty decent, easy match for Dominick Cruz. I think he's going to get it done within the distance. Not within the distance, sorry. He's going to get it done with a unanimous decision. Who should Dominick Cruz fight next? He shouldn't fight next. If he does fight next, fight like a Faber. Get that number 4. I don't know. Could throw him in against a Marlon Moraes, even, or Jamie Rivera. If they're giving him Kenney, give him Jamie Rivera or something. And I don't think Kenney's going to win this, though, and it's going to be disappointing for him, but I do believe Dominick Cruz is just too strong. And, yeah, I think Dominick Cruz is going to come away with the W. Another big fight that I'm looking at right now is the Askarov versus Joseph Benavidez. It's a flyweight fight. And Joseph Benavidez is ranked number 4 in the world at flyweight. Askarov is ranked number 3. This is a tough fight. I want Joseph Benavidez to win, but I also want Askarov to win. Askarov is undefeated, 13-0-1. Joseph Benavidez is 28-7-0. So Joseph Benavidez is the veteran here. Benavidez knows what he's doing. He's been there with Figueiredo. He's been there with Cejudo. He's been there with DJ. Askarov hasn't. And I think for that reason, like, Joseph Benavidez has got some really good striking. He does tend to put his head down. But, like, you got to remember, he won that first round against Figueiredo in the very first fight. He won that first round. And, like, yes, in the next fight, Figueiredo completely destroyed him. But Joseph Benavidez knows he's gone against really good competition. He's beaten Cejudo. So, and Askarov, I can't really think of someone too big that he has versed or he has fought. And I personally think because of the factor of being a veteran, Joseph Benavidez is going to win this fight. I think Joseph Benavidez knows what he's doing in there, and he wants to get this win. He's got, I think, 2 straight losses, and he to Figueiredo, and he wants 2 straight finishes too. He wants to win, and I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win 3rd round, TKO, or he's going to win by decision. And I do think that because Joseph Benavidez is just he's a very talented fighter. He knows what he's doing in there. He's got a lot more. I think he has a lot more capabilities than Askarov, but he also has a lot more. He's more of a veteran too. Askarov is a newbie, and I could see Askarov winning without a doubt, and he dethroning, well, not dethroning because Joseph Benavidez, but like beating out the Joseph Benavidez, and Benavidez becoming a journeyman or a gatekeeper for the flyweight division. So, but I do believe Benavidez will win. I'm going for Benavidez as well. And, yeah, I think Benavidez will win this fight. Next, we have a crazy fight. Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rakic. This is a crazy fight. Thiago Santos, number 4 in the world at light heavyweight. Alexander Rakic, number 5 in the world at light heavyweight. Rakic just defeated Anthony Smith. Thiago Santos just lost to Glover Teixeira after hurting him. And, like, Thiago Santos put in a fight. He put a fight on Jon Jones. He really did. He put Jon Jones in danger. Alexander Rakic, very good fighter. This is a tough fight to call. Very tough fight to call. Thiago Santos is very strong. Alexander Rakic is a little bit more on the skinnier side in this division, at least. But he's really good technically. Thiago Santos technically is also very good. But he's also stronger than Rakic. Rakic has got some good kicks. This is a tough fight to call. This is a really tough fight to call. And Thiago Santos is 21-8-0. Alexander Rakic is 13-2-0, and Santos is coming off a loss, a tough loss. Alexander Rakic is coming off a win. I've wanted to see Rakic fight for a long time, since that Smith fight, and this is a really tough fight to call. Thiago Santos has got the power. He has the power to knock Rakic out, but I do believe that Rakic is going to win this fight. I do believe by decision. I don't think he's going to end up finishing Thiago Santos. I don't see that happening. I do think Rakic will win by decision. I don't think it will be dominant. It could be a split decision. But I think Rakic will win. And Thiago Santos, put nothing against the guy. Like, he's a fighter. And, like, he knows what he's doing. And Santos is a really strong guy. He can knock out Rakic at any second. And that's why I'm really excited for this fight. I think Rakic could also knock out Santos, but not in the same way Santos could knock out Rakic. So I am going with Rakic, though. By decision, I think Rakic will outpoint him. Next, we have probably my favorite fight of the card, Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. A fight I've been waiting for a while now. Petr Yan's first title defense, and Yan got a big tough challenge. And Aljamain Sterling, Aljamain being a great wrestler and pretty unorthodox himself. He knows how to use kicks. He knows what to do. He pressured the crap out of Corey Sandhagen and brought him down, submitted him. Like, Aljamain's got really good wrestling. He'll kick you at a distance. He'll throw backhands, throw elbows. And he'll keep you at that distance, and then he'll take you down. And I think one fight against Pedro Munoz, he never took Pedro down because of Pedro's guillotine. Petr Yan doesn't have that guillotine threat. I don't think Petr has a submission win in his 15 wins, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, my bad. But Aljamain Sterling, he has that jiu-jitsu over Petr Yan. He has that wrestling over Petr Yan. But do not forget that Petr Yan's wrestling is there. It's existent. We just don't see it. He's a big boxer. He's a big kickboxer. But Petr Yan knows how to wrestle. Don't get me wrong. He knows how to wrestle. And he will wrestle you if he wants to. But Aljamain Sterling is going to be a really tough test. And I think it's going to be a back-and-forth battle. Just like we saw Usman versus Burns. Burns came out, dominated that first round. Usman came out, dominated that second round. And then he won the third round, Usman. I think same thing kind of thing's going to happen here. Except I feel like Aljamain is going to start winning quick. Like at the beginning, he's going to dominate that first round, even the second round. But Petr Yan's going to put up that fight. And he's going to take him out in that third or fourth round. And I could see a potential rematch, too. If there is a really tough fight, if it goes to a decision, and it wasn't a domination by either or, I could see a rematch. But I do believe Petr Yan's going to win. I believe he's going to win by TKO in the third or fourth round. I just think Petr Yan's boxing is just too good. And I think he can, like, Aljamain can keep him at that distance, but Petr can keep him from taking, like, look at his fight with Jimmy Rivera. He was losing his rounds. But he came back and he knocked him down every single round. And he won that fight. Like, Petr Yan is a real deal. I do believe this. Petr Yan is one of my favorite fighters. Second favorite fighter in the UFC. So I might be biased here, but Aljamain Sterling is also one of my top 10 favorite fighters. I don't want to see either of them lose. But if I have to pick one, it's Petr Yan. It's a very tough fight to call, but I'm going with Petr Yan 100% here. Next, we have Nunes versus Megan Anderson. Amanda Nunes is the GOAT, straight up. And, I mean, but I do believe Megan Anderson will give her toughest test today other than Shevchenko. I do believe that. I've looked at Megan Anderson. She's long. She's dangerous. Megan Anderson, she could seriously do some damage. But is it going to be enough to dethrone Nunes? I think it could be. But I'm not making that prediction. I am predicting Nunes stays champion. Megan Anderson puts up a good fight, though. Look, Nunes is 24-0. Megan Anderson is 10-4-0. Megan Anderson's not the most well-known or experienced. She's on that experience level that Nunes has. I think that's what's going to win Nunes the fight a lot. I do believe Megan Anderson is a really dangerous fighter for Nunes to face. But I do believe because Nunes has been here so many times that she's going to beat Megan Anderson. I don't think it's going to be an easy win at all. But I do believe that with Nunes wins over Shevchenko, Spencer, Cyborg, you Ronda Rousey, you have all these dominant fighters that were dominant at one point, and Nunes just destroys them. And I mean, that Shevchenko fight, the first one was debatable, but she won that second one. And Megan Anderson's going to put up a good fight, though. I do believe that. Megan Anderson's long. She's dangerous. And I will keep saying that. But I do believe Nunes will win. I think she will retain her belt. I think it will be by decision. I think there will be some bloodshed. But I think it will be definitely a fun fight. I'm very excited for this fight. Very excited, actually. I'm very excited. But I do have Nunes winning by unanimous decision. Or even a 5th or 4th round finish. I could see that happening as well. Next, we have the main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. This is a super exciting fight. Israel Adesanya, undefeated middleweight world champion. Jan Blachowicz, the newly crowned light heavyweight world champion. He called out John Jones to beat Dominick Reyes. Jan Blachowicz has beaten the Corey Andersons. He's beaten the Luke Rockholds. Like, he has some good wins. Israel Adesanya, though, he's beaten Paulo Costa. He's beaten Yoel Romero. He's beaten Anderson Silva, not in his prime, but he's still beating him. He's beaten Robert Whittaker. Israel Adesanya beating Costa has brought him up a level, and Adesanya just gets better and better every single fight. Same with Jan. Jan is a lot older now, but he keeps getting better. And they are both counter fighters, so I could possibly see this going a Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya, but I don't see Jan letting that happen. I see Israel possibly letting that happen, but Jan won't let that happen. Jan will push forward. He will not let that happen. And I think because of that reason that Jan might get frustrated with Israel's length and his calmness, and I think Jan might blitz at one point, kind of get frustrated like he did against Thiago Santos, and then got knocked out. Jan Blachowicz doesn't blitz. He doesn't do that. He doesn't like to do that. He gets caught. He got caught against Thiago Santos. But against Israel Adesanya, he might have to. Or use those kicks. Personally, I believe Israel Adesanya is going to take this belt. Jan Blachowicz, love the guy. But Israel is just getting better and better every single time. And I do believe Israel, because of those wins over Yoel Romero, and he can take a punch. Like, he got hit from Yoel Romero, and he took it. He got hit like 3-4 times. And then against Paul Costa, just shut him down. I think he'll do the same to Jan. And don't forget, though, Jan has that Polish power. Jan is the equalizer. Israel Adesanya knows how to evade it. So I do believe Israel Adesanya will win this title. He will become a double champion, which I'm really excited to see happen. I really like Israel Adesanya. And this is what I think is going to happen at UFC 259. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And, yeah, I'll see you guys soon.